On the block, we go, 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 go. On the block, let it flow, go, 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 Spaces open, might go live. Different miles from Web to Drive. Builders here, they pull up real. Talking moves and how they feel. No scripts, just open flow. Ideas moving row by row. Every week a new face shown. Building things to stand alone. On the block, we go, 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 go. On the block, let it flow, 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 flow. On the block, feel the sound. On the block, right now. Spaces open, let it start. Different builders play their part. No filter, just raw talk. Ideas that actually walk. From early grinding new way. Every guest got things to say. No script, no safety net. Just truth, you don't forget. On the block, we go, 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 go. On the block, let it flow, 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 flow. On the block, feel the sound. On the block, right now. Down, 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 down.
GMGANGE, happy Monday. Welcome to On the Block, episode 44, the NFT Database. I'm Taddy, chilling in the City of Angels. And as always, I'm honored to be your humble host for today's show. Thank you all for rocking up. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you would be so kind to like and repost this live stream, maybe tag a friend or two, we would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to our goated sponsors, OrbisOnSoul.io and Puffsters. Hope that everyone had a nice, relaxing weekend as well as a goated Monday. It's 2 p.m. here, so I'm currently working at the moment, but I always got time for OTB. Before we check in with our dev extraordinaire guest for today, let me check in with my brother, Lucky Luck. What's good?
Daddy, back at it again. Monday OTB vibes. You know the deal. I'm excited for this one. We've been talking about Infirm for a minute, but besides that, how you been, brother? How's your weekend been?
I'm not gonna lie, brother. I slept like I had no children on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, bro. My girls are done with school. It is summertime for them, so I recharged the battery like no other. Like, not gonna lie, I caught up on sleep this weekend, so I'm feeling
Let's
great.
go. I slept like I had three kids, which I do, and I slept for about 4 hours, brother. So yeah, it was it was crazy, but I'm glad you got rest, brother. I'm glad you got rest. Excited, as I said, Monday, first day of the week, back at it. I'm looking forward to this week, Teddy.
Oh hell yeah, bro! And it's World Cup mania out here, brother. So it's getting ready. Everyone's getting ready. Everyone's excited. The vibes are hot, man. The stadium is pumping. So looking forward to it. I believe it starts on Thursday. So yeah, it should be action packed around here coming up. But that's enough about us. Nobody tuned in to hear us yap. They pulled in to hear and see what our special guest for today has been cooking up for the Solana and Ethereum ecosystems. So everyone, Lucky and I, we've been testing and highlighting the non-fungible N for the past month on our Floor Watch live stream. But today, all of us get the honor of getting a grand tour from the founder and the creator of the NFT database himself, Bro Tato. Bro Tato, welcome to OTB. Thank you for accepting our invitation. It's been a long time coming. How are you this fine Monday?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a Monday, right? It could be better, but it could be worse too. I'm glad I'm here talking to you guys.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. You had a good weekend, summertime going. Are you a dad? Are you a bachelor? What's going on there? What's going on, if you don't mind us asking?
Yeah, I did get together with the family this weekend, and my mom took the opportunity, as she does every time that I see her, to let her know that I still haven't given her any grandchildren. So live in the bachelor. You should probably change that, and maybe someday we will. But hey, you know what? It gave me a lot of time to dev on the weekend, so we cooked up some cool stuff that we'll be showing off today.
Okay, okay. Well, there's no rush for that, brother. Although, if you enjoy your sleep, you might want to take your time because you will never sleep again. I mean, when I say I caught up on my sleep, that's just 1 or 2 hours. No more 10-hour sleeps or 12-hour sleeps. That game has changed and left me by. But appreciate you rocking up nonetheless. And Lucky and I have been showing this on our Floor Watch segment, and we are all loving it. Like, seriously, it is one of the sickest protocols and utilities I've seen in a long run. So happy to have you on here and give us the grand tour, so to speak, and our viewers as well.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, not a problem. So what we like to do on our space is, we like to hop in and we give our listeners a little bit of man behind the PFP, talk about how you got started in this crazy game that we all play, and what you do in IRL or if Web3 is your full-time job. But basically just want to know, how did you get started in this crazy Web3 crypto game?
Yeah, man, how did any of us get started here? And I think the bigger question is, why the hell did any of us stick around this space? I think I came into NFTs just during the 2021, 2022 kind of bull run that we had going on there. Was getting bored kind of with tokens and everything like that, like everyone else was seeing the crazy gains that people were making in NFTs, and just decided, hey, you know what? It kind of hits home close to my heart anyways. I used to run an online art collective, so worked with people from around the world, really creating a bunch of digital art with various themes, putting that out on the web. I have a background in technology. My IRL job, I manage and lead the strategy and the development for integration and data at a $15 billion company. So, that nice intersection of, it was art, it was technology, it was a way to make money while we're all tied up at home being bored and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, one of those things where once you start collecting, you don't want to stop. So just, immediately jumped in with 2 feet and haven't looked back since for 4 years now.
Collectors collect, brother. I hear it. The addiction is real. The artwork is just, I'm never satisfied when I look in my wallet. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough, so I understand completely. And we must all just be a little bit batshit crazy to not only be here, but to stick around as well, especially after the whole FDX debacle, and not to mention all the other protocols that went to zero as well. The fact that we're still here and we're still early, it's like a badge of honor, tell you the truth. So, GG, man, for sticking it out.
Yeah, it really is that badge of honor, right? I mean, we've made some strong bonds going through. I mean, multiple bears now here in the Solana NFT community. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not even joking. I ask myself every week why I'm still in this space, but I think there's something wrong with me, and I love it too much to leave. There's too many good connections and too much fun stuff going on here.
I agree, man. And where do you think we're still very early? What stage of the market do you think we're in? Honest opinion, like what are you thinking? What's your opinions on Web3, crypto, and NFTs?
The people who know me know that I like radical transparency, so I'm probably not going to beat around the bush or give sugar-coated answers for people. I mean, I look at it from a couple different perspectives, right? I look at the crypto cycle that we're in, and then I look at NFTs more holistically as like a subclass of crypto. I think for the crypto cycle, I guess, as a whole, I think we're getting close to, the end of the bear market here. Honestly, I was surprised at how quickly we dipped this past week. I see Reese in here. What's up, buddy? I have been telling Reese in the background, my target number is around 48K for a bottom here for this cycle. I know it's depressing to hear, but I mean, hey, we're already most of the way there, right? So I think we'll see, maybe we hit the low already. This is pretty brutal, but I think we see maybe one more low, if we haven't hit it already this year. And then I think we're off to another bull cycle after that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree as well with regards to the bottom. We are obviously in a bear market. I think around September we'll start to see the push up, but that 48K is pretty much close to where our target is. Lucky and I have been stabled up for quite some time now. And you can never time the bottom, but that's the number I have in my head as well. And I mean, until we break the 4-year cycle, Bitcoin has done what it's done, like clockwork. So act accordingly on our end. So I know obviously we're going to get to the end, but it's Solana and Ethereum. Are those your major holdings? Are you also a Bitcoin maxi? Like what's your bag looking like with coins and tokens?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a Bitcoin maxi. Well, maybe I shouldn't say maxi. I love Bitcoin. It's my biggest holding, definitely. But that being said, I'm also an altcoin degen too. I'm a big fan of L1s. So for me, the things that I'm invested in, hey, this is not financial advice, right? I'm a freaking potato, guys. But for me, it's Solana, Litecoin, Zcash, Ethereum, Monero, Near, Arweave, Internet Computer, stuff like that.
Excellent. Yeah, our bags sound very, very similar for sure, man. So no, I agree. It's like I love Solana. I play on Ethereum. I actually treat Ethereum more like a stock than I do like trading NFTs on it and whatnot. Sell it when it peaks, then buy it when it dumps, and rinse and repeat. Although they've been cooking up some NFTs, so I need to hop back into that game. My IRL just eats up a lot of my time, and then as well as my kids. So I wish I could be more active in trading than I used to be in the past, but we'll get back there. We'll get back there, man. But I appreciate you being transparent on what you hold and what's going on.
Ethereum's been cooking. You're right, man. I mean, if you look at that Normies NFT that came out, I mean, that thing went from 0.01 Ethereum to I think it hit 0.6 Ethereum. So, I mean, that's $1,000 gain there in less than a month. I like Ethereum. I wouldn't say it's one of my core holdings. It's one of my ancillary holdings. I wasn't planning on doing non-fungible in for Ethereum. I did hold a mutant ape and some other NFTs like that on Ethereum, and I still do hold those. But really, I built it for one of my buddies, Chart. We'll see if he joins this year, Chart Davidson. But he was asking for Ethereum NFTs on the site, so I said, what the hell, let's do it.
Let's go. Well, I'm curious as to what was the genesis for the end? Like, what were you doing when you had the ideal? Did you throw it against the wall to someone else, or were you just like, we need this, I'm building this?
Yeah, kind of the latter, I guess. The other thing that I didn't mention about what sucked me into NFTs is I'm
Okay.
a collector. I got so much shit, man. I mean, I collected sports cards as a kid from so many different things. I collected Pokemon cards. I collect Pokemon plushies as an adult and other things like that. I collect plants, and I collect NFTs, right? So really, the genesis of the in is kind of funny. I just wanted better information about NFTs, and
Hmm.
you can get some good information from the marketplaces, OpenSea, Magic Eden, Tensor, Orbis now, but you can't get some information that's really important to me. And as I mentioned, like I'm an integration and data guy in my career, so data matters to me, facts matter to me, not feelings. And we live in a space that's, as we know, very driven by sentiment and what did you do for me today. I'm interested in things like how long has your NFT been around for? I've been here
Hmm.
for 4 years, like you guys have. I've been rugged plenty of times, too many times. And I want to invest in the real ones that have been here for multiple bears now, right? So, really, the the NFN, non fungible in, it started off as a Google sheet that I shared with some of my buddies. Really, it was the projects and then some basic information about them. The core thing that I was kind of offering at the very beginning, again, just doing this out of passion for the space on a Google Sheets at first, was tracking the launch dates of projects, and giving it something that maybe we'll bring back eventually, but we've retired it for now. We called it the Blue Chip Index. It was a 1 to 5 rating of NFTs. I just wanted a simple place to go to find what are the good NFTs and how long have those things been around for. So that's kind of what started it. And then I'll say that I just wanted to make it a little bit better for my friends, right? So I wanted to turn it from a spreadsheet to something a bit more interactive. And man, AI really helped make this possible. I mean, I'm the architect and do a lot of hands-on coding for NFI, but really it's a vibe coded project as well. So AI has helped enable this to turn it from a spreadsheet into something that I hope's a lot more valuable for people.
That's great, man. So the how long ago? Unless I missed that, I apologize. When did you start the build of?
Yeah, good question. I think I skipped that. Really, it's only been going on for this year. I started that spreadsheet. I think it was July of 2025. So the project itself, I guess, has been going on for about a year now. But I really started publicizing it, making that spreadsheet available to my friends. And then that was in December of 2025. And then we launched Non-Fungible in the website that you see today. We launched that in January of this year.
Well, I'm gonna pull it up. If you could share your screen again, I'll pull it up for our listener, for our viewers to see, man, and you can give us a rundown and a tour. I actually want to know where'd you get the name because I love the name, man. It's so goaded. And then the NFT database as well. I mean, that basically explains itself. But the non-fungible end, like a tour of the end of a collection of NFTs, it's very, very clever, man.
Thank you. Um,
Okay,
yeah, I mean, let's see here. You
got
got
it.
it. Perfect.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we'll start with the name. I'm a dork, man. I'm a collector, right? I like weird things like NFTs. I like video games. I like RPGs and stuff like that, for example. So I just wanted something that was cozy, kind of like this project is for me. It's just a place to come chill out and find information about NFTs. So I thought, what better place to pull up a pint and have a drink than an inn, right? So the
Hmm.
non-fungible inn was born.
Case in point, man. Sometimes it's easy peasy like that. So no, I love it, man. It's great. It's a great name. It's a great name. And it feels like you're in like an inn, you know what I mean? Like all these familiar surroundings of all these goated projects, a history of Times Yar, and then as well as the new kids on the block as well. It's like a place where we can all get together and talk about the things that we love being collectors. So yeah, I love the name, man. I love the name. And then following up with the NFT database, like to make sure you slam dunk home what this is, it makes perfect sense. So a year and now we're here. Obviously, we're still in beta, right? And will we always be in beta? Like it seems like a work in progress that to where you're just adding and adding and adding. Like, talk to me about it. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I would call this live. I think I
Okay,
haven't really
okay.
publicized that. We started off in alpha, is what I was calling it. We had a banner up on top of the site in January and February. The OGs will probably remember that. But um, I think we're out of beta here. We are going to continue to crank out more and more features. This has been a passion project of mine, something that I started this because, again, I wanted some of that information, but I also wanted to give back to the space as well. I've been around a long time, for over 4 years now. I've helped for a hot minute there derug a project. It was only around for about 4 months, and I didn't rug it. I left it with the other 4 people who are still derugging the project, but I've been itching to give back to the space since then. So this is the passion project and the avenue that I'm giving back to the space through. The name, the NFT Database, really just comes from what I'm trying to do with it in my background in data, right? It's I want stats, I want numbers, I want real information. I don't want feelings or the flavor of the minute, and that's what this provides. It's just transparent, accurate information about projects.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, like I said, we've been sharing it on our Floor Watch segment and we've fallen in love with it, man. And not only that, you also made us Genesis Travelers, which ups our bag a little bit to what we can do on the site. So we do appreciate that as well. And just wanted to say thank you. But man, I got to tell you, like well, what I want to highlight for myself, which was the first thing that caught my eye, was the heat map for NFTs. When I saw the heat map for NFTs, I was like, LFG, let's go, man. This is such a great idea. I had only seen it for shit coins and altcoins and meme coins. And to see it on NFTs just, brought a smile to my face, man. So how did that come about, if you don't mind me asking? I know you're going to give us a tour of the end, but I have to get that out the way before I forget that question because I love the heat maps.
Yeah. Some of the best ideas are just born spontaneously, right? And we'll also take a look at the compare feature that I pushed out this weekend. Both compare and heat maps were just an idea that I had based off of things that I saw in other markets. So you hit it on the head there, right? You'll see heat maps in other, financial markets and stuff like that. If you go to, Coin Market Cap, they have a heat map for cryptos and stuff like that. So I really had, I built heat maps based off that kind of methodology. And then the same thing for compare. And that compare was really an epiphany moment for me this past week. Like, holy shit, I just got to look around out there and see what is valuable when it comes to similar spaces to us, whether it's stocks or cryptos in general, and then apply that same sort of stuff that's valuable to NFTs. The patterns are already out there. Other places have already created that. It was nothing novel that I did with heat maps. I just repackaged it for NFTs.
Got it, man. And so did you first start trading on Ethereum before Solana, or was it at the same time, or what's going on there? You still trade on Ethereum as well? Obviously it's a museum for Ethereum in Solana. What are your favorite NFTs, if you don't mind me asking, on both chains?
Yeah, and maybe we'll just click off of Ethereum here for a minute because ETH is getting all the attention like always. This is sorted by volume here, so we're going to see the top 10 are primarily Ethereum. I do have a concept amongst the, millions of concepts that I have written down on sticky notes around me to kind of normalize the data between the two of them. So let's say that you have 1,000 ETH worth of sales in one day and 1,000, Solana worth of sales. Well, really, those have vastly different USD underpinning values to that. And that's why you see Ethereum dominating here. But if you just look at it from, kind of a 100%, what's the top Ethereum collection, what's the top Solana collection, and what percentage of sales did each collection have on that underneath per blockchain? Going a little bit too much into the weeds there, but I am going to put something up here, a toggle for people who kind of want to see both Ethereum and Solana, not just Ethereum dominating.
Got it. And any future plans for other chain NFTs as well, or is it always going to be Solana and Ethereum?
We'll see about that.
Okay.
Quite frankly, the NFT space has been hit pretty hard by this bear market, and it's very hard to find data, right? Obviously, we own all of our data. Everything that you see on the site here, it's being served up from our underlying databases, but we have to capture this information from, places like, we get crypto information from CoinGecko. We get a lot of NFT information from Helios and from Magic Eden and from OpenSea. So we are really reliant on those. But we are storing everything ourselves, underlying in our own databases. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. Maybe we'll do Bitcoin ordinals at some point. But for now, we're just going to stick with Solana and Ethereum. They're really the two big boys when it comes to the NFT space. And
No,
sorry,
it
I
makes sense.
started
Makes
answering
sense.
your question yet about where I started.
No. It makes sense. And of course, those are the two main ones and the two ones that most people focus on as well. I know there's degens are always going to degens to other chains for NFTs as well because collectors be collecting. But I understand the reasoning behind Solana and Ethereum. I mean, it makes perfect sense. So all these other ones are kind of, they're kind of babies too. They're new. I know Solana, isn't that old, but it kind of is an OG now. So you kind of like got to earn your stripes before you start tracking all these other projects on other platforms as well. So it makes
Yeah, I
sense
think
to me.
so. I mean, Bitcoin's probably the only other network that's even relevant to track at this point. Maybe Base or some of the L2s on Ethereum. Personally, I'm a Elrond fan or Multiverse X fan for their NFTs. Would not recommend anyone invest in that unless you want to lose money. But that's another blockchain that I would love to add at some point. I started off on Solana when it comes to NFTs, right? I mean, I'm not rich or anything like that, and Ethereum NFTs are extremely expensive. If you want to know how expensive they are, shout out here to Non-Fungible In. We have a toggle to quickly show everything on the site in USD value across both Solana and Ethereum. You can toggle it on and off with just one click there. As you can see, Ethereum NFTs are expensive. I don't have 55 grand to drop in a CryptoPunk. So yeah, I mean, I started off on Solana from the NFT perspective. That's really my first love. And I do own some Ethereum NFTs, but I'm primarily a Solana guy.
Got it. Full disclosure, Lucky and I checked out one of your wallets and realized that when you were talking about the NFT database and the museum of NFTs, you were actually talking about your wallet. So
Yeah,
GG.
literally. It's like a
GG.
it's like a who's who of NFT projects in that wallet. So yeah, as Teddy said, GG on that rotator. I had a quick question, right? Yeah, and I want to touch on something you mentioned earlier, and that was starting off on a spreadsheet, right? And this is where you are now. It's brilliant to kind of see that transition over. But what was actually on that spreadsheet? Was it just you tracking the floor prices of projects? How did it stand out, and what made you kind of add these other kind of factual information about projects?
I think it's just been, well, let me first off answer the question about what was on that spreadsheet. It was very basic information. It was the name of the project. It was the date the project started. It was the project socials, the Twitter/X, the Discord, the website, their Magic Eden or their OpenSea link. I like to track weird things too. So if I can get a mint from a collection to kind of associate the on-chain collection, I was tracking stuff like that. Really just kind of, basic information about projects. And I think to like your second question, how it grew into this, it's just a natural evolution, right? I mean, you get one thing going and you have another idea of how you can expand upon that. And again, like I'm more of I lead the teams in my day job, right? I don't actually do the development work or anything like that. I used to do that in a previous life, but the reality is it's been 10 plus years now since I was a developer. So I've lost the skill set to be able to do a lot of this stuff here hands-on. I can architect it, I can be the puppet master, but actually doing the work has been difficult for me. But with AI and vibe coding and everything like that, it really enabled me to continue to do more and more. So this started off with me transitioning it from a spreadsheet into just like a simple WordPress site again, so I could make it a little bit more interactive and just want to have some fun delivering something for my friends. And then I decided to play around with AI because my teams and myself, we use it in our job. And this led to doing full stack development. I mean, we have just massive amounts of APIs running. I mean, we're writing, I'd say tens of thousands of rows every day. Our database is close to 1 billion rows now. It's over 500 million. So it's just been a natural evolution of you build one thing, you get an idea, and then you just go from there. So it started off with me putting that same data from the spreadsheet onto this website, and then starting to get more and more information, again, from places like Magic Eden and OpenSea and Helios and Jupiter and all the CoinGecko and all those places, and then just putting it together and building cool shit on top of that now that I have all the data. The hard part's been done. Now it's the fun part for me and actually getting to build.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned Rotator that previously that there are features coming on your X. You mentioned about the Grail all coming out. How do you kind of collate all these ideas? And are you the type of person that has to go and do it as soon as it comes into your head, or do you kind of have a long list of ideas that you are going to be rolling out on non-fungible in? How does that how does it work? How does it all work in your head?
So I have the luxury with non-fungible in right now of I don't need funding for it or anything like that. We are not selling anything to the public. We hopefully will be gifting stuff to the public and maybe be selling something eventually. But really, it's just the love of the game building this right now. So it gives me a lot of creative freedom to how, when, and kind of like, where I'm building these different things for the website. Really, I have a massive list of sticky notes sitting next to me. Maybe you can hear me shuffling them around right here. Then I have some documents on my website and stuff, which is great of ideas and stuff like that, right? So I try not to, spread myself too thin. What I always tell my team members at work is, there's no point in building something new if the stuff that you've already built doesn't work. So when we build something and kind of set off on a new feature, we tend to take that thing to like at least, I don't even want to say an MVP, like a minimum viable product. We take it to like at least a version 1.0. And then the way that I kind of operate, it's organized chaos. I like to work on a lot of different things at once. When I'm I'm typically vibe coding 3 different features at one time, or 2 features and troubleshooting something else with a bunch of different agents. So I just honestly, really, it's pick a feature that I like that I think is going to be the next valuable thing that helps add another core pillar to the foundation of the website. Because when I add these core pillars in, it allows me a lot more flexibility to build different things, right? I had to get all this foundational data in there. And now that the foundational data is there, I can build a lot of different things on top of that. So it's really pick something that I'm passionate about at the time that I feel can be a pillar that I can stack other things on top of ideally, and then just build that out. Once I'm done with that, it's time to pick the next one, whatever sounds good.
Sounds amazing. Daddy, we're getting a few questions coming through. I know we hold questions towards the end, but I think one of the questions might be a great way to give Brotato the opportunity to show us around the website. And that question, Brotato, is from Googie Guster Boy. What is NIF project about? Shed some light on the ecosystem and how the project works. So, Brotato, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh man, and you guys are going to have to keep me in line here, because honest to God, guys, I could probably sit here and talk for the next 5 hours about all the different features on the website here.
No, man, this is your show, so you do you, brother, and we'll make sure we steer it back on the rails if it goes off. But no, this is this is your platform. We want you to share with us your passion, and no better way to do it than to show us. So let's go.
Let's take the grand tour of the inn. All right, guys, everyone, crack a pint and let's get going here.
Let's go.
All right, so I'm actually going to start by jumping over to the About page for just a moment here.
Okay.
Total transparency, I created this page a month or 2 ago, and I haven't even looked at it since, so it's probably out of date and needs an update. But I think, to answer that first question, like, what are we about? We're about helping degens make better decisions, right? Again, like I was saying earlier on this call here, we've all been rugged way too many times in this space, and I'm sure that we're all sick of it. I want to help people by providing better information. I'm obviously not going to be able to protect against rugs and stuff like that. That's the tough part about this space, is everyone is extremely excited to ape into things before we really do our research and understand if that thing is worth our time and investment or not. But we do want to provide as much information as possible that's out there on the blockchain about projects to help degens make those decisions. So if you do want to understand more about like what our mission is and what we're all about, check out the About page. Again, I know it's a bit out of date here, but it does talk about, why we're here. We want to answer what actually happened, right? No hype, no fluff. We're here about facts. All right, let's jump back to the homepage here.
Okay.
Being a single developer, the biggest thing that I have to battle is performance. I'm sure anyone who does full stack development and tries to do it via vibe coding would say the same thing. But as you notice, the homepage taking a minute to load there. I do apologize to anyone who has who has performance problems with it. We'll get there.
Right. A quick question on that, right? And I hope you don't mind me and Teddy just jumping in with some questions as you browse through the website. What usually causes a heavy time for a page?
Sorry, say that one more time, Lucky.
Yeah, you were
What
breaking
usually?
up.
Oh, sorry about that.
Mhm.
What usually causes a heavy load time for a page? Just so, like your homepage, for example.
Oh man, I mean, in general on websites, there's so many different reasons. The reason for non-fungible in it's just the sheer volume of data that we're trying to shove through this page. I mean, if you think about it here, we're just pulling an extreme amount of data when it comes to trying to figure out across 7,000 different collections, what are the top collections, pulling back all this information about all those collections, being able to toggle between USD values for everything. And then if you notice here, we're also loading up to 100 different collections on the page with all this different information about it across all these different time frames. So really what it comes down to in the way that I can make the most impact performance wise is just database optimization and database architecture. When you're a one-man army and you're trying to pump stuff out as fast as possible, you know, I have a leg up because I do data architecture and stuff like that for my career, but it all comes down to how is this stuff organized in the back end and how do we serve it up here? Because, you know, I'll tell you, we track every sale of every NFT, every attribute of every NFT. We track every 6 hours for eternity of every NFT. We do a roll up of, you know, what their price was. Sorry, that was a lie. We do it every 30 minutes actually, and every 6 hours and every day. So it's just the sheer volume of data that we're serving up.
Wow.
Go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Amazing. Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's not just on Solana, Teddy. That's on Ethereum as well.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
So on this page here, the top part of it, this kind of featured banner or whatever, this is across Solana and Ethereum. Like I mentioned earlier, Ethereum typically dominates this because this is going to show the top 10 collections by volume over the past one day. And it's pretty much always Ethereum for the top 10. Honestly, if you're like me, I'm a Solana maxi. I tend to browse the website and just have Ethereum turned off. You can toggle it back on very easily from every page. So if you just want to see Solana like we're looking at now, you can just toggle Ethereum off if you want to.
That's what Lucky and I do as well. So yeah, I'm a Solana maxi as well, man. So
yeah, no hate on Ethereum. You know, if I had more money, I'd be all about it because they got a lot of really cool stuff going on there, and they got, you know, the OGs over there. But it's tough when you started on Solana to scrape together the capital. You'll spend it all on one mutant ape or something like that. When you refresh the homepage, we do have featured collections here. These are really just the collections that Brotato thinks are the best collections out there in the space right now. We have the back end to be able to use this for, you know, other purposes as well. Perhaps we want to do advertising, or perhaps we want to give away, you know, kind of free features to projects and stuff like that. And we can play around with the frequency of how these appear on the page and stuff like that. But right now, this is just a pure random load on every page from one of the, again, in my humble opinion, the top NFT collections to pay attention to across Solana and Ethereum. And we're not going to do Cardano, by the way, Savage. None of that.
Oh no, Savage is going to be really upset now.
Yeah, very upset. Very upset.
When I was getting into NFTs and stuff like that, I started talking about crypto more with my family and stuff because, again, I have a huge passion for art and collecting things and stuff like that, and it was harder than crypto for me to keep it to myself. So my mom started hearing about all this stuff, and she actually bought me a Cardano shirt, and I think she's probably devastated that I don't think I've ever worn it once.
Hey, Cardano shirt. No.
I am a Cardano maxi, Savage. Yeah.
No hate at all on Cardano. We've been seeing it in the news here with what Charles said recently about taking a break, so I had to throw some shade on that, but nothing wrong.
Hey, no shame taken, man. We dunk on Cardano all the time here, so you know it's all in jest. So no worries, no worries.
If I scroll down a little bit here, I want to show you guys this section because I put I'm a data guy. I put a lot of work into my charts and just like the flexibility for people to get the data that they need. So you're going to see here, you can look at these, prices, top collections across Solana or Ethereum on a time frames that are as short as 1 hour here, or as long as, you know, the entirety of how long the project's been around. We have these nice little chart lines here too. So whatever time frame you flip to, this is going to be brutal since we know NFTs are down only. But there's our all-time charts for our favorite projects over here, guys. Only a couple of them still green.
Mm-hmm.
We did just recently this weekend add a really nice feature to all of our charting page, or our table pages, I guess here. That's going to be the home page, the collections page, and the watch list page. We let people add whatever columns they want to. So for whatever reason you don't want to look at the floor price, you can just click it and there you go. It's instantly removed. If you want to add the floor price back and maybe have it in a different order, you can just rearrange that stuff. Oh, did I find a bug? Look at that. It didn't actually seem to work. So there we go. We found our first bug live. You can also drag and drop these things as well, and we'll see if that actually worked. Something got a little messed up there, so we'll reset this to default, and I'll write that down and go back to the lab with it later.
So quick question though, say, for users using the platform, they do find a bug. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you and share said bug? Is there
thank you so much for asking that. Yep. So if you go to the About page here, it's tucked away at the very bottom. Terrible place for me to put it. But if you have a question or if you see anything wrong in the website, please just DM me on X. Okay, that's the best way to contact me right now, is on the NFN X page. So if you guys don't follow me, please give us a follow and just hit me up on here. And we take care of things really quickly. I consider myself the #1 user of this site right now, so I want it to work well, just as well as you guys do.
Well, that must make Lucky and I number 2 and 3, because ever since we were introduced to it, man, I pull it up on the daily. So, yeah,
it's one of the first things that I look at when I get up in the morning, and I'll show you guys specifically what parts of the website I look at. Really quickly on the rest of the homepage here, on pretty much everything on the site that has like a monetary value to it. We, again, do have the toggle. So if you want to look at it in native currency, great. If you want to look at it in USD, which is really nice when you toggle across multiple blockchains, you can still see everything in a consistent currency. We do provide that. We also provide the ability to look at things with and without royalties. So if I turn this off here, you can see that the DGOD's floor price is 4.649. Yikes, that's been going down. And if we toggle this off, you'll be able to see what it looks like without royalties. So I think that's kind of a nice feature to be able to have as well.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at all collections then. We have a bunch of different, whatever you want to call them, apps, features, modules to our site here. I'll go through some of them very quickly because this is basically like the same thing as the homepage here, with just a lot more filters and options. Again, we do track, I believe, over 7,000 collections here. We have 1776 on Solana. We actually have some more in the background. If they're really junky collections, we still track them, but we don't bother to show them on the front end just to try to speed things up. We have
quick question before we head in here, before we do a deep dive. Is this mainly optimized for desktop or mobile? Like, which do you prefer people go visit the site, desktop or mobile right now?
Either or. We're always going to build for desktop first, but again, I use this site on the daily, and I want to be able to look at it when I'm not, at home on my laptop as well. Yeah. So everything should work perfectly across both desktop and mobile.
Okay.
Nice.
So this right here, basically just the homepage with a lot more different filters on it. So if you want to look at things based off the category of the NFT, how much of it is listed. If you want to look at things with minimum, maximum market caps or volume or the FP or anything like that, it's all right here.
Let's go. We see your favorites too. We see your favorites.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You can see what I like. So that's another thing about non-fungible in is we do allow people to have their own watch list. We're working on really getting more synergy between the different modules on the site. So for example, we have watch lists, we have portfolio, we have alerts. We're really working to get kind of like your watch list, for example, integrated across your portfolio and alerts and everything like that, and vice versa, getting your portfolio wallets integrated across our collection pages and watch list and all that fun stuff. Let's jump into a collection page.
Okay.
Take a look at Mad Lads. So on the collection pages here, these are all automatically added. So whenever a new Solana NFT collection is launched and starts trading on a marketplace, we're going to recognize that. We're going to crawl it and add it to the website. And then we start tracking a whole bunch of stuff about those projects. Again, our options up here to kind of toggle things are up on the top right. I'm not going to click this, or I'm probably going to dox myself, but this is the share icon here, and it will bring up all the different ways to share on whatever device you're on.
Got it.
This is the alerts function here. This is really cool, guys. I'm going to open this for a second. I don't think people use this very much. I'm going to close it now and I'm going to come back to it. But this is available for any NFT collection on the site if you want to start to get notifications on how the collection is doing.
Let's go.
So we track tons of information. Again, we track the floor. We got market cap, the listed, percentage here, total volume, holder distribution percentages. So you can see like Mad Lads is 62%. It's actually pretty fairly distributed. I don't like to buy collections that are highly concentrated because whales then can, move the price up or down a lot more with just one of them making a move.
100.
So we also show NFTs and NFT listings. We don't do this for every NFT collection. Maybe eventually we will, but being a small startup that's funded by myself right now, this takes up a lot of compute resources and a lot of storage resources to store all the images, ratings, and everything for every collection. So I think we're doing this right now for the top 1,000 Solana NFT collections and the top 1,500 Ethereum. So basically everything that everybody cares about is going to have this, listing information and everything. But if you look at some really obscure NFTs, you might not see this stuff.
Got it.
I forgot to mention, we do have charts and stuff too. So historical data, again, super important to me. One of the reasons why I wanted to start this project. So you should be able to see, your NFT charts across pretty much any time frame here. Shout out to Tensor for getting this data for us. And there we go. Look at that. Bug number 2, because this should be going back to, we'll see if I can even get it on the 1 year. Something's going on there, but most collections should be showing this back to whenever they launched. So what, like Q2 or Q3 of 2023 for Mad Lads?
Okay. Real time finding bugs. I love it.
Oh yeah. It's live demos are always sketchy, right? All right. So a couple things that I want to call out on this page here. We have like search and filter capabilities for pretty much every trait that you want. We try to make this valuable. When you look at this here, you're going to be able to see how many traits there are. So if you want the backpack back trait for Mad Lads, there's 266 of them. That's about 2.67% of the items in the collection have that trait. And that trait currently has a floor price of 12.86 Solana. So we provide a lot of data there. We also have a custom rating system or rarity system here at NFI. We really believe in this. It's purely math-based, something that you can't really argue with. I understand that every collection is a little bit unique. I always take the example of the Utes Pyrite Crown. That thing is like the second most common head trait for Utes, but it always sells at like a 300% premium to any other trait in the collection, unless it's a one of one. So we have, and I'll get into both these things here. You'll notice 2 things here, one that says common and this thing here that says fair value beta. That's one of our flagship features we're developing. But we like to look at things from all sides. So we have statistical data, stuff that it's just the facts. You can't argue with it. It's how rare something is. And that's just based off of the combination of traits that an NFT has and how rare each one of those traits is in the collection compared to other traits. But then we also recognize NFTs are very emotional as well, right? So we take empirical data along with the statistical data. By empirical data, I mean like what actually happened, right? What did the thing actually sell for? What are the trends? So we can see that statistically, the Utes Crown is not rare at all. However, we can see empirically, the Utes Crown demands a really high premium. So we take those 2 things. Again, statistical, that's how we're getting the NFT rarities here. But then what we're also trying to build, and this is the thing that I'm most proud of for non-fungible in right now, is something called fair value. I'm a collector. You guys are collectors, right? I want to know what my NFT is worth, like actually worth. I paid freaking 2x for that thing versus the floor price. And it feels really bad when you go look at your portfolio immediately after buying that, and it looks like you just lost 50% of the value on it.
Right. You're like, what did I do?
Yeah, exactly. NFTs they're such a unique asset class that realistically, like every NFT is worth the right price to the right person, right? Because something vibes with everybody.
100%, man. Especially when you're grail hunting too. You're like, all right, am I reaching? Am I not reaching? I want it in my bag, but So
I know
no, I
it's
understand.
tough, right? Exactly. Yeah. When you want to buy that grail, but it feels a little bit dirty because NFTs have been going down only for the last 2-3 years. And this one's double the floor price. You're like, man, can I really afford to do that? So we're trying to solve for that, right? So this feature right now is only available to Genesis travelers. I'll take a moment right now, I guess, to talk about Genesis travelers. Again, guys, I'm doing this for the community. I'm not selling anything currently, but I do recognize that support matters. So I want to give back to the community that is supporting us here. Taddy and Lucky, like you guys both are. And how I'm able to do that right now is by giving people the Genesis Traveler role. So it's currently a role that I provide on my website that will be an NFT at some point down the road. The goal is in 2026 that will convert to an NFT. We have not announced if that will be a Solana or an Ethereum NFT yet, but we do want it to be, tradable for people if they want to switch to a different wallet, or if they do want to be able to, sell or gift or whatever that premium membership to another entity. We don't have a strict criteria to become a Genesis traveler, but we're a very small community right now. Show up, support us on X, engage with us, retweet our stuff. We do recognize that, and we will give back to the ones that are the real ones. I think we have about maybe 20 Genesis travelers right now. It's not very many, and we're capping it at 100. So if you want to get in early, if you want premium features for free, again, I'm not saying that we will sell anything down the road. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But for now, the only way that you can get things such as fair value or buy sell signals, really the more trader and collector oriented features, is by showing up, supporting us, and getting that Genesis Traveler role.
Love it.
Okay.
Quick question before you dive in here. Are most of the users friends, or what community have you found that uses this the most?
Well, I'm a pretty shy guy, so when it comes to friends, I have a pretty small group, maybe 5 people I'd really consider close friends within Web3,
Okay.
and then I have a bunch of people. For the people on the space here, I love all of you, right? Okay, so when I say friends, I meant more of the people who I've been talking to them for years type things, and I
No
introduced
doubt.
them to NFI versus them kind of seeing it online, and then we started talking and we became friends. Really, it's just been the NFT community.
Okay.
It's the people I think who probably see this from my posts, see this from the posts of the other Genesis travelers who retweet it, and they just find the value in it. I do a terrible job at marketing. I will totally admit that. So again, thank you guys for having me on this space. But yeah, I think it's really just been word of mouth and people who are still here in the NFT space looking for something that gives them a little bit of an edge when they're trying to shop.
Well, we are your unofficial marketers because we've been showing the heck out of this thing the last month, man. So yeah, we love it, and it's our pleasure to bring it to our viewers as well, because I don't see how you can't fall in love with this as soon as you click on it. So no, let's go. I appreciate you.
I think there's also a special shout out to Train, right? Because even though I contacted Rotator before, he mentioned that I should check out what you're building. Just appreciate him as well to kind of putting us on and in contact with the project. So, shout out Train. But yeah, as Taddy mentioned, we're big fans of this, and we've got it up on screens on near enough every floor watch we put on. And just excited for what you're going to kind of reveal to us about the features of this platform. I quickly do want to start off with, you mentioned floor value, right? I think it's a brilliant concept. Could you give us a bit of breakdown how that's actually calculated?
To some extent, we're keeping a bit of it, or we're keeping most of the actual calculations under the hood for now. I will tell you that NFT collections are extremely unique. I'll go back to that Utes Pyrite Crown example. There's not many NFT collections where one of the most common traits in the entire collection commands the highest premium of any trait in the collection. And that's where the empirical data, the what actually happened, the historical sales data is really critical for us being able to calculate this. But fair value right now is a number of different layers in our model that we put together that is used to, first off, really take a look at a collection holistically, look at the items in the collection, look at the distribution of rarity throughout the collection, look at the historical sales for those collections, and then try to place it into a category. And that category helps define the model and kind of the upper and lower bounds. And I guess like an example that I will give there is some NFT collections. I think Mad Lads is a decent example. DGods is a very good example. Have just massive premiums at the most rarest NFTs in the collection. I'm not talking about one of ones. I'm talking about the other NFTs that are highly rare in a collection. Versus, I keep going back to Utes because Utes is a really unique collection. Actually, if you look at the traits, they're almost flat. Like the most common trait is almost as rare as the most rare trait in the collection if you exclude the one of ones. So we classify each kind of collection as a certain category, which then the model kind of uses to determine the bounds of the fair value thresholds. And then we layer on a lot of statistical and empirical data. You know, how rare are these things? How when you look at the top 1,000 or the top 10% rare items in a collection, what premiums do those typically sell for over the floor value? When you look at this trait, what trait, or like a crown, for example, what's the premium that the crown normally sells for over the floor price? And then we compare that as well, right? So if you have, for example, maybe DGods, right? You have radioactive skin with a crown. Well, that's worth more than one of those traits on their own. So it's a very complicated model that I'm building. And the goal eventually, once I have this fully refined, is to turn it from a model that is just built by me to an AI-driven model. So I'm building the foundation of the model myself. And then this hopefully eventually will become, fair value will become not a model that I really kind of curate, but an AI-owned model so that it can evolve on its own going forward.
Yeah.
Any plans to make this an app on Seeker?
I'm writing it down right now. So far, no. I'll be honest. I haven't even looked into creating a Seeker app for this before. But I believe that Creature is, the first NFT collection on Solana, just launched something recently, and I believe that they put it out on Seeker. So it did pique my curiosity, and I just wrote that down. Taddy, I'm gonna look into it.
Right on.
All right, Rotator, let's dive in and let's look at see if we can find some bargains or scalps.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's give a live test of this. Let's go.
For sure. So for anyone who is a Genesis Traveler or becomes one, understand that the Genesis Traveler features are in beta. Don't sue me, bro. Okay. This is all speculative right here. Again, I'm a potato, but I'm hoping this will give a framework again to help people make better decisions. So left side here, we're going to see the rarity. All these are common. You can see by the color here. If we scroll down, hopefully we can find, there you go. You can see something that's uncommon. So the left side tells you how rare things are. The right side will show you the fair value. That's the FV. And we do have this thing on a color scale right now. So the stronger green color you see, ultimately culminating in glows and highlights and stuff like that. If these things are like over 100% discount or half off is what I'm trying to say. And then on the flip side, they'll go from gray, which is essentially a neutral deal here, all the way to a pretty deep red. If we think like that, for example, we think that you're losing out on 9% if you buy this thing at the price that it's listed at right now. Yeah. One of the cool things that I think is a game changer here for people who want to use this feature is we have the standard sort options, right? Sort low to high, high to low, recently listed, the rarity, the names. But we also now, since we have our own fair value model, can sort on things like fair value low to high, fair value high to low, and apologies. Again, performance is one of the big things that as a individual developer I have to wrestle with. This might take a moment because it's actually loading the full NFT images from the blockchain.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But here we go. So this right here is saying what my model believes are the rarest NFTs in the Mad Lads collection. And you'll notice it's not just based off the statistical rarity, right? I mean, the most rare one here we do see is the rarest NFT in the collection. And quite honestly, if I'm being critical of my model, like this one right here, I believe the Hawk Tua girl is also probably a one of one, and probably should be more highly valued than, for example, this one right here. But yeah, I mean, so it says this one's worth 79 Solana, which is what, I mean, it shows it's listed at a lot right now, so it's actually showing it's a bad deal. It's saying, hey, you're going to lose almost 80% here if you buy this thing for 340 Solana, but it does show that it's worth basically 10x the floor price here at 79.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a FOMO stopper, is what it is, truly.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice gut check. I've been using it as I buy stuff recently. I just bought a nice gecko last night, and I used fair value to determine which one I wanted.
Nice.
The coolest thing here is best deals, right? So this is going to look at what is currently listed, and it's going to show you the ones with the highest premium. This is a little bit depressing sometimes if you look at it, but I think it's real and it's honest. I mean, there's not a lot of deals out there, right? They get sniped. People want to list for higher than they're worth and stuff like that. So, you know, I sent this to one of my buddies the other day, my buddy who wanted Ethereum listed. He came back and was like, man, there's only 2 Azukis that are deals listed. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah. So we see there, right? So that Mad Lad 9513, someone's got it listed for 8.34 sold, but the fair value system is at 9.36. Okay.
Exactly. Eventually, we want we want to show, so we will build something eventually that shows how it got to that number or why it got to that number. There's definitely a certain trait or a combination of traits, and we can probably already see it, right? And it's got a freaking gold hand, so that's probably, I don't know a whole lot about Mad Lads, but that's probably what it is. So if we open up the NFT, you can also see these are color coded as well. So if I close this for a moment, legendary traits, meaning that 5% of the collection or less has that trait, show up in yellow. So this one does have a lot of rare traits, including the yellow glove, and maybe it's also this coral smoke that is causing it to to have that premium price.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting here thinking, well, I don't want everyone using Nft, because then the people listing their NFTs will be listing them at the proper prices. So yeah, we kind of have an edge on that as well. But no,
that's interesting though, Taddy, right? Yeah. And that's a good question for Brotator, right? So for example, you've got an NFT in your wallet. Does Nft help me decide what the price should be before listing it? Can it give me like a valuation on my NFT?
It doesn't right now, but that's something that we're building towards. So yesterday, I'm proud to announce that we just started building our Wallet Connect feature. We are going to be extremely careful with this, right? Because now we're talking about having some level of control over people's assets. Right now, if you use Portfolio, you do not sign any on-chain transactions or sign over any permission or anything like that for me to do anything with your assets. So the Portfolio feature is 100% off-chain right now. There is no risk to using it. But as we move into building stuff that's a little more mature, for example, I mentioned that we want to airdrop to the Genesis Travelers their Genesis Traveler NFT later on this year. We do need more controlled and official ways to validate if people actually own the wallets and stuff like that. Again, Portfolio is not an on-chain transaction. So we started building that yesterday, and we will be rolling that out probably later this month, the very beginning features there, starting with Portfolio. So to kind of answer your question there of will you be able to see the value of your NFTs before you list them, just to get out of here on Mad Lads and we'll hop over to Portfolio. You can definitely go into your portfolio here and you can see, so these are on the top here, you can see the wallets that I've connected, trying out different wallet providers. I've connected all of these different wallets, 3 Solana and an Ethereum one here. And you can see all of the NFTs that are listed. So I have it in private mode right now, so you're not going to be able to see it. If I open up an NFT, it should still, I don't think there's private mode on here. But I don't have fair value listed on here yet. The fair value will be on the NFT pages eventually. But to answer your question, sorry, long-winded way of saying it, yes, we are going to be building a feature eventually that on any collection that you go to will be able to allow you to see your NFTs. So you'll be able to understand the fair value before listing.
I mean, it's a great challenge right now. You know, if you're going to list one what you think, and then after it's listed, you can go back and be like, "Oh man, I got it right," or "Oh damn, I got it wrong." So it's kind of like a little game you can play right now until it is a feature.
Yeah, and I would think it would go both ways too, right? I mean, we can look at it from the perspective of, man, if everyone knows what their NFT is worth, then I'm not going to anymore. But you can also look at it from the perspective of, man, if everyone knows what their NFTs are worth, I'm not going to have to, I'm going to be able to get the NFT I want for the right price. People aren't going to list it for 10x if they look at it, if this does prove to be valuable, right? If they look at it and say, well, I'm not going to be able to sell it for that price. It's way above what it's worth.
No doubt. I mean, an informed buyer and an informed seller is, it's a good handshake right there, for sure. I know you're giving us a deep dive, but there is a question that I want to bring to light. Awful Waffle says, any interest in maybe integrating NFT lending data?
Man, I wish we could bring Awful Waffle up to expand on that question a little bit there. I'd have to kind of understand the ask behind it, like what the value use case for adding lending data to this might be. I do know that Kaizen, who does something by OmiOMai, does something very similar to what NFI does, and I believe that they have lending data on their site. I'll take a look, honestly. I'm jotting down ideas as they come across here. I'll take a look and see what they're doing with it to see if I can understand the value a little bit more, or maybe you can put it in the chat if you want to, your perspective on that. But to answer your question right now, no, we don't have that in our plans, but we're open to it if it can, again, be kind of one of those pillars that we can add into the site and then build cool data features on top of.
Got it.
So let me cruise through a few things here, if you guys don't mind, because I'm looking at the time and realizing that, again, I could talk for 5 hours about this here. If you don't mind, let me show a couple of my features and then we'll jump into some things like heat maps and compare and kind of walk through some of those, since I know that you guys really like heat maps. So we have some main features that, again, we're really trying to make them build upon each other. The high tide raises all. So we have our portfolio feature. Would encourage anybody who has Solana or Ethereum NFTs to try it out. It is risk-free at this point. It's free for anyone who has an account, and you are not signing or giving NFI any permissions to execute any transactions on your behalf. We track pretty much every NFT that you have. You can sort and filter and all the nice stuff, just like we had fair value and all of that. So the portfolio feature, I believe, is the best cross-chain NFT portfolio that you can find. If someone does have one that they like, send it to me, please. I would love to take a look at what makes it good and maybe adopt some of those features for non-fungible in. We have a watch list, pretty simple. I won't spend very much time on this, but this is like the first thing that I check every morning when I wake up. I roll out of bed, I load NFI, I go to my watch list, and then I do this. I take the one day and I just filter on how are things moving. Look at that. And it makes me feel good, right? When I start the day by seeing, wow, I just bought like 10 time traveling chimps. Again, don't follow me. I'm a potato over the past week or so. And look at that. They're up 80% today. Then I scroll down to the very bottom and say, oh, like I was saying, DGods, that's down a lot today. Maybe I really like DGods. I really like Friends Factory. Now, I'm not going to buy Friends Factory right now because they're up 2.5x from what they were a couple days ago still. But I do tend to come here every morning, take a look at what's down a lot, and then go shopping.
Yeah. So it's a good indicator to see a quick pulse of the market, see what's doing good, and if things are really pumping for, as a trader's point of view, you could potentially look at flipping, and the ones that are down, analyze it and look at shopping. Yeah, I like it.
100%. And obviously, I mean, you could go to your exchange and do this, but the problem that I was running into is my exchange only shows me one blockchain, right? I want to see all of my blockchains. So, for example, we can see Ethereum here, and again, you can flip between whatever time frame floats your boat and see Solana and Ethereum side by side.
Yeah, and our exchange is also not showing fair value either. So, one up on them. Quick question. I see your alarm, your bell up there. What alerts do you have enabled, or is that something that you don't show? Yeah.
No, absolutely. We can take a look at that. So, we have an alert center here as well. I want to know when those deals are listed, and the alert center and the fair value, these two things are going to be pillars for us to build our Grail Hunter feature. Grail Hunter is going to allow you to create configurable notifications with trait combinations, price combinations, collection combinations, so that when a grail that you're looking for at a price that you're looking for gets listed, you get notified about that. Right now, this runs every 15 minutes, so it's within 15 minutes of something being listed, you would be notified about it. But as we build this out, I mean, it's really just about the resources that we want to put into this, right? I can pay a little bit more for the server, and we could bump that up to every 1 minute if we wanted to, type thing.
Got it. Okay. Just curious. I've been seeing it since the beginning. I was like, I got to ask him what's going on there. What alerts does he have? It's a ping. So
they're just me playing around and stuff like that. So yeah, I would like highly encourage people. I think this is a really great feature that goes unnoticed, is on any collection you want, all but 5,800 of them that you saw there, you can set an alert for them, whether it's Solana or Ethereum. You can set alerts on the floor being above a price, below a price. If you want to know if the floor moved up or down a certain percentage, if it's getting a lot of volume, attention, liquidity, right? Maybe there's a ton of listings happening. I should actually saying this aloud, probably make this listings above or listings below. I'll add that to my list as well. If you want to look at the holder count here, whether it's above or below a certain number, again, I only have it above right now. I'm adding that to my list as well. Do you want it to be a one-time notification? Do you want it to be recurring? Do you want it every 1 hour, 6 hours, 24 hours? Cool down, right? So if you say that I want a floor spike or something, well, if you get a 10% spike, 1 hour or 5% spike, you'll get notified. And then another hour later, if there's another 5% spike, it'll notify you again, type thing. You can get notified in the application, or you can get notified via email. Maybe at some point we build a mobile app or something like that, but these are the two, or integrate Telegram or something, but this is what we're supporting right now.
Okay. We do have a follow-up to what Awful Waffle asked. He said pretty much a data aggregator for NFT lending where it can look at a loan to floor value to asset good deals and lending out liquidity. Sort of like what Wolf Capital or Lender Labs tried to do in the past.
Interesting.
Just to follow through, I mean, not that you necessarily have to, dive into that right now, but you want a little bit of clarification. So there's the clarification.
Yeah, no, I do really appreciate that. I haven't thought through that at all, but I understand the concept of, I mean, it's kind of fun, right? It's combining a little bit of like NFT DeFi signals as well as buy sell signals into this. So I think that's another thing where those pillars I keep talking about, fair value in this case, could be, a pillar that supports that kind of lending notifications that you were talking about there, Awful Waffle. So no promises, but we'll definitely look into it. So when you click notifications here, you can click view all alerts. We do have a notification center here, or an alert center, I guess is what I'm calling it. And these are all the notifications. So, I mean, if you want that 7 to go away here, you can click them one by one. There you go. Well, okay. Another thing that I'll fix here, look at that. It does it over here, but not up there. I need to get that in sync, or you can just mark it all red at once. And if I refresh, I'm sure that bell will be, there we go. They're all gone. You can manage your alerts from here. So if you created something and you want to modify it or change it from recurring to non-recurring or delete it or something like that, you can absolutely do that. And then the preferences tab is kind of cool here. It says, do you want to get it in, a notification through email? Do you want to get it from in-app notification? Do you want a daily summary of the market? Do you want a weekly digest of the market? If you do, when do you want to get those notifications? And then we do the same thing for portfolio too. So, I mean, if I hop over here every day, I'm not going to open it because it will show my portfolio, but every day here in the morning, I get an alert with my portfolio and how it's been moving across both Solana and Ethereum.
Love that.
Yeah, again, just trying to make valuable features for people. So that's our alert system there. If you guys
really like that, right? Because as you said, Rotator, when I'm sure Teddy's like this as well. When I wake up, I just want to quickly see how is my portfolio performing straight away, and have a quick look at the markets. But the first thing I do is actually look at what my portfolio is doing. So I love that email feature as well. It ties it in nicely.
Yeah, it's right when I wake up in the morning, that's the time I normally wake up, 6 o'clock in the morning. I just roll over and there we go. It tells me right on my phone.
Bingo. Nice.
I love that. I love that.
So under Discover, yeah, sorry, go ahead, guys.
Oh, no, I just have a question from Gato. He said, when calculating fair value, does it take into account OTC deals?
Really good question. And let me touch on fair value a little bit more. So we do not take into account OTC deals. That is extremely hard for us to manage that. Even if we could, is it a deal? Is it a wash sale? Is it something else? So right now, fair value and the historical sales data that we track, it's only coming from marketplaces. And when I say marketplaces, I'm specifically talking about OpenSea and Blur from Ethereum and Magic Eden and Tensor right now from Solana. We will try to get support for Orbis eventually, but we're not quite there yet. When it comes to the fair value, we do have algorithms in the background that scan for things like wash sale trading. It's pretty easy for us to understand just by looking at the wallets involved and the trends of those, if it's a wash sale or not. So although things like the collection pages themselves in the total volume, that's typically just what we're getting from the marketplaces. They do tend to retroactively go back and correct data to avoid including wash sales and stuff like that. It's not perfect. But when it comes to what you see on the collections, we typically are just showing what we're getting from our marketplace partners. But when it comes to the fair value, we are doing our very best to try to weed out stuff that is, not a real true sale. So we don't have OTC today. It's something that I for example, I would love to get support for Foxy Swap, but just something that's low down on the list right now.
Got it.
So these things under Discover here, the ones that we haven't looked at, signals, heat maps, and compare, are some other big features for non-fungible in. Signals is extremely raw. So I would actually recommend to any one of my Genesis travelers, probably ignore this for now. If you notice, it's actually the only page that I've loaded that doesn't really look like it fits in with the rest of the site. It's got kind of a different color scheme and stuff like that. This is very raw, and we are going to be using the fair value system that we're building to create a NFT collection signals 2.0 that we're confident is going to serve its purpose much, much better. The purpose of this is to really give indicators to people on whether or not we feel an NFT collection is a buy or a sell at any given point in time, based off of a variety of signals that you can actually get a lot of information if you hover over this, I believe. So we look at price momentum, is the trend moving up or down over various periods of time? What's the volume trend? How large of a trend or significant of a trend is that volume trend? Holder trends, is it going up? Is it going down? Liquidity trends, which is really like listings and sales and stuff like that. The age of the collection, market cap. And we shove all that through our model, and it comes out with a score here, which correlates to a rating. We love the idea of it, but again, it's just a little bit raw right now. So I would highly recommend use it as, maybe something that gives you a slight indicator, and then make your own decision based on the information you have.
Can't wait for this to get up and running, especially V2 you mentioned, right? This is going to be very, very interesting to see, but I'm definitely going to go away and look at this in more detail, even using this version. And as you said, Potato, just taking this, obviously not as advice, but just a kind of maybe a suggestion to look into projects a bit more, especially if it's a buy signal there.
Yeah, we hope it's going to have synergy with the fair value system from an individual NFT level as well. So for example, you might come to the collection signals page and say, oh, wow, this is a strong buy for this collection. Again, I'm not recommending that anyone goes and buys for Dandy Dreams. I don't even know what that is. If you see a collection that you're like, oh man, I've really been wanting a Friends Factory. I see that this is, the model's calling it a buy right now. Well, then you go to the Friends Factory page itself here. Then you look at the fair value, go to best deals, and you can find a collection that is a buy, and then you can get a deal on an NFT as well.
Yeah,
that's great.
So yeah, we'll continue to refine this. It's a little bit low down on the list right now because, again, we want fair value to be a foundational pillar of what this is using from like an underlying data perspective. So we're tabling version 2 of NFT collection signals until we finish fair value. I do expect that fair value 2.0, which is going to be the version that we're confident running with for a while, should be good to go here later this month. I think we're getting very close to it. Again, I used fair value yesterday to make a purchasing decision on the gecko that I bought. So it's good enough where I'm trusting it right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Just a quick one, Rotator. Do you think it's worthwhile just putting a brief disclaimer on this page, just to kind of highlight to people that, you know, this is just an indication, please do your own research and that kind of stuff?
100%. Absolutely. I appreciate that. So we do have this right here.
Right. It's on the question. There you go. You was waiting for someone to ask that question, was it?
Yeah. Kaboom.
Yeah.
So yes, you're absolutely right there, man. Thanks for the question, Lucky. Yes, we do need to do a better job of putting disclaimers up for that stuff and protecting ourselves. Again, this is a very limited audience of Genesis travelers right now. Please, fam, I'm building for you guys. Don't sue me, bro. Do not use this stuff as investment advice. To help have more data points to make an informed decision. So we do intend before we launch version 2.0 for signals, and before we launch version 2.0 for fair value, we are going to do a better job of indicating that. We also do have some information in our terms of service that indicates that nothing on this site here is investment advice. It's, again, data points to help you make better decisions on your own.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah, I don't want to get sued.
No, just curious. Do you have, are your DMs filled with people saying, yo, I bought this according to fair value, and it's not like, has that happened to you yet, or no, we're not there yet?
No, it hasn't happened to me yet, but the day will come.
Yeah, that's kind of a badge of honor. When that day comes, you're like, all right, let's go. Oh, shoot, I love it.
Heat maps.
So, yeah, heat maps, right? Again, things that, and if people have ideas of solutions or apps or whatever you want to call them that you found in other financial markets that have been really valuable to you, let me know about those. Because again, I'm just browsing, I think it was CoinMarketCap, and I'm like, man, we need something like this for NFTs. This isn't that much work. I mean, this takes me a couple days to cook this thing up here because we already have all the underlying, data foundation, everything like that. So if people have other ideas for cool things like heat maps, definitely let me know. But this is going to be very similar to what else you see on the site here. You can look at Solana and Ethereum. You can look at just Solana if you want to. It dominates everything. You can see SMB here is 15.7651 Sol. Well, if you want to look at that in USD value, you can quickly flip there. 7-day trends, 30-day trends. Yeah.
And again, you did say, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask, this is looking at, what is this looking at? Is this based on volume that's going to happen in the past 30 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question because this is a little bit different than what you'll see most heat maps. Most heat maps, if you go on CoinMarketCap, for example, the size of the block is going to be the market cap. The size of the block here on non-fungible in is exactly what you just said. It's the volume.
Yeah.
NFTs are so much less predictable than other cryptocurrencies, which are already unpredictable, that after a bit of trial and error, it just felt like it made a lot more sense for us to do this based on volume sizing rather than market cap sizing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, Taddy, go for it.
Oh, no worries. I just wanted to reiterate that right now it's only Solana and Ethereum, and then possibly you did say maybe some ordinals will be up on there as well, just to our viewers.
Yep, no plans right now, but if we are to expand to another blockchain, we've already evaluated what it would take to do ordinals, so that would be the next logical step.
Got it.
Yep. And the dollar icon, it just shows you the actual value, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like being able to see things in USD value, and once we brought in 2 blockchains, it started making a lot of sense. Trying to show apples and oranges on a similar or a single column just made a lot of sense to find something that we can align on, and USD is kind of that thing in the crypto space.
Rotator, so obviously we had the NFT bull run last cycle, and then we had the meme coin craze this cycle. You think NFTs come back? Like, obviously you built this. Are you optimistic that we have another bull run, or you think it's going to be a smarter bull run where people aren't just blindly aping into everything but being systematic about it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I hope so. I kind of dodged this question at the very beginning when you asked it about crypto in general, and I said I'd be radically transparent, and I will be. Do I think we'll have another bull run for NFTs? Yeah, I do. Whether it's going to be as volatile as the first bull run that we saw, I don't know. But I think the reality is, human beings want to make money. They're always going to try to find a way to make money. And when people get bored with something, they're going to go to something else. And eventually, just like trends in the real world, those trends come full circle, and eventually they're popular again. So I do believe that in this next bull run that we have here over the next few years for crypto, I do believe that we're going to see another NFT bull run during that. And I'm very excited for that. And as you guys have seen with my wallet, I've packed my bags for it.
Yes, you have.
I don't know long term, man. I look at NFTs as digital collectibles, very similar to how I look at like trading cards and stuff like that in the real world. And that's one of the reasons behind my thesis of acquiring OG NFTs. If you look at my wallets, you're going to find they're stuffed with things that have been around forever. If you go look at my Twitter, you're going to find that over the past, couple weeks, I've spent like $2,000 on 2017 Ethereum NFT collections, just because I want those digital rookie cards for when the next bull run comes.
No doubt. It's also a badge of honor. Like we were here at the beginning as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Overall with NFTs though, I don't know long term. I think that again, there will be some winners, and I think those will be highly valuable long term. But hey, I mean, even our fearless leaders at the Solana Foundation call our space here digital slop, right? So, I mean, if I'm being real, I do think that there's going to continue to be a lot of down only for a lot of NFT collections outside of that bull run. And I think that we will see a significant evolution to what the NFT space looks like and what's actually popular and worth investing in over this next bull run. But regardless of whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm here for it.
I appreciate you not ducking that question this time and giving your honest opinion about it. I appreciate you, man, because we have similar thoughts as well. Just wanted to see where your thoughts aligned on that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, as much as we love NFTs, blind faith doesn't get anybody anywhere except for losing a bunch of money. So yeah.
Right.
The last thing that I want to show on this site, because I know I've stolen up almost an hour and a half of everybody's time so far, is what we just launched this weekend. We launched NFT Compare. I love domains and I love investing in non-fungible ins. So you can actually go to nftcompare.app as well. And this will just redirect you to what we built here. Maybe that becomes a standalone app at some point in time. So this is really fun. This is just another thing that I found in traditional markets that I was like, man, we need something like this for NFTs. So you can see what people have been playing around with here, on the bottom, and you can click any of these. But you can just select to compare to NFT collections. So I always find it funny to look at Bored Ape Solana Club here. Oops, if I could spell. And then say, well, man, if Solana was as big as Ethereum here, what would it be worth? So there you go. If Bored Ape Solana Club had the market cap of Bored Ape Yacht Club, it would be worth 376 Solana, which can make us all feel good about our bags.
Yeah, I might start using this more often to put a smile on my face, bro.
I know, right? And we make it easy to share too. If you're on mobile and you click share on X, it will actually do pretty much everything for you. But if you click copy image here, go to share on X, I think it might copy it by default, and then you can just paste an image in there. We also make a little, nice little image that you can share with people too, if you want to, post that online or anything.
I love it. Just to clarify again, for people that want to become Genesis travelers, what's the best way for them to go about to do that?
Show up and support me on socials. We have a small community right now. If you don't believe me, look at our followers here, right? We have 155 followers. So we're a very small community. We will recognize if you guys are showing up and supporting us. We want to see people supporting us consistently. We want it to be honest support, right? If you're using this product and it's valuable for you, just retweet our stuff, comment on our stuff, post something about non-fungible in. we're not going to give it away right away if you post one nice thing about us. But again, the real ones who we see showing up and supporting us and actually using our product, we'll give you that role. And then you're going to be able to come and use all of our premium features that we have right now, and then premium features that we build in the future as well. So that's fair value, that's signals, really the stuff that's going to help you actually make those better decisions. And then when we start getting into Web3 stuff, and I'm not saying that we do it, but in my mind, the logical step after building fair value and getting those notifications out through Grail Hunter is automating the purchase of those, that you don't have to be around waiting for those notifications, being by your phone to actually make the purchase. So features like those will probably be premium things that, are gate kept in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that will be yet, but the only way to get those right now is a gift from us to you guys if you support us through the Genesis Traveler.
Got it. You heard them, guys. If you like what you see, then, rock up and support. I just realized that we've been featuring it on our Floor Watch, but I have yet to retweet anything. So I need to get up in there and do that. But, we've been using this and showing this for a while now, man, and we fell in love from day one. So hopefully our viewers as well are finding the value in it as well. So if you guys do, rock up and get that Genesis Traveler and use all the bells and whistles that he's building out.
Yeah, sign up to the website, right? Even if you haven't got the Genesis Traveler enrolled, just using it basically for the other features is goated right now. And, show up and support on timeline. And who knows, as Botator said, they'll be keeping an eye out and you potentially could get upgraded.
Yep, absolutely. It's free for anyone to register an account. Top right of the site there, whether you're on desktop or mobile, should have a registration link. So once you create an account, you can start to put together your watch list, your alert center, your portfolio, and support for Genesis Traveler, and we'll get you some more features too. Really appreciate the support you guys are giving me on the streams, by the way, too. And glad that it's actually valuable. That's the best thing for me, quite honestly, is seeing that people actually want to use the site. That's the whole goal behind this.
Definitely. And guys, the other thing is, please do follow them on X. That the following count you have at the moment is criminally low for what you've built. We'll definitely be getting some tweet outs for support. And if you're tuning in and watching this stream, go ahead and support Botato in this mission, because I believe it's not just a mission for himself. He's doing this for the wider ecosystem. And when you come across people like that, you've just got to show support, and it doesn't hurt just clicking the follow button and just keeping up to date with what's being cooked up. But Botato, I've got to ask, and me and Taddy have kind of been drooling over the upcoming utility that's in the pipeline. Could you please touch on the Grail Hunter?
Yeah. I think I mentioned it in passing before, but the idea is quite frankly, I want to know when those rare NFTs are listed, right? How many times have you guys gone onto a collection on Magic Eden or something, and then you look at the activity and 15 minutes ago, absolute grail, right? And you're like, oh my God, I would have paid 2 Solana more than that. Come on, right?
Just this morning, if you want to know the truth. So yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's where it started. It's, man, I mean, when you, if I go to my watch list here, I don't know how many things that I am interested in, but I mean, the number of collections that I care about are 81 different things. I mean, it would take me forever. I mean, some of them are trash, right? Like Tayo Pilots, which is basically a rug. But I still like some of these things. So it's just too much work to go through every one of those collections, go to recently listed, look at what was listed, and, make a decision on if I want to buy it or not. I want to be notified the moment that those things are listed. I see grab some friends. I got 56 friends, I believe, so don't worry. We're in good hands. I'll bring it up in my portfolio so that you can see the friends I have. Although I don't believe the portfolio shows state friends. That's something that I have to...
Okay.
Oh, and Friends Factory actually has some issue with their metadata, I believe, where it's showing across 2 collections. Opportunities for improvement. Sorry, I think I lost... my train of thought there. Was there a question?
Grail Hunter.
Thank you. My goodness. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Oh, it's all good. That's why we're here.
Yeah, so Grail Hunter, really, the idea behind it is when something that you want to buy gets listed, you get notified about it immediately without having to go out there and look for it. So Again, the foundation is really the fair value, and us having to first off understand what is every NFT actually worth, how rare are these traits, stuff like that. And then what we're going to do is we're building an interface, a highly configurable interface. It will have Grail Hunter will have the ability to get notifications based off of listings compared to fair value at the collection level. So I'll just give out some examples. I want a notification every time that NFT is listed at a 50% discount for Friends Factory, right? That's something that Grail Hunter can do. Another thing is you could say, I want to get a notification every time a Bored Ape Solana Club with a crown is listed, right? And it can notify you for that. But what it can also do, which is going to be the real killer feature, in my opinion, is it can start to look at the fair value aspect of things in combination with those traits. So you can say, I want to get notified when a Bored Ape Solana Club with a crown is listed at a 50% discount to the fair value of any crown Bored Apes Solana Club or that individual NFT. So it's going to be a highly configurable application. We are already building it. Again, it's very reliant on fair value, and we are crawling tens, if not hundreds of millions of sales to get all of this data. So it's more just we need the time to collect all of the data before we can release it thing. But that's kind of the concept behind what the Grail Hunter is going to be.
Oh, cannot wait. You hear that, Teddy?
I do. You keep saying we. You're referring to you and Claude, or your AI bot, or is there another dev that you are working with?
No, when I say we, I'm referring to myself and my AI companions.
Okay, just making sure. Just wanted to clarify.
NFI is a one-man team at this point in time. But I come from corporate America, where it's always good to say we and make sure that you're including the team.
No doubt. I just wanted to touch upon that. I'm like, do we need to give a shout out to someone else who we haven't discussed yet? But no, okay, it's your AI.
Hey, Teddy, with Grail Hunter, you'll be finally able to put that alert on for that OK Bears, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I've been waiting for a while. Like, let's go.
We all love OK Bears.
Yeah, no doubt.
Teddy's looking for a very particular one, which Teddy, I don't know if you want to share the story about.
Well, I'm looking for the one that I sold at the top of the market back in 2022. I don't like to round trip my bags. I like my bags to round trip me. So I'm trying to get it for exactly what I minted it for, which would be 1.5 SOL. I missed out. I was following it for a while and then had some IRL issues and then was on vacation. And then it sold. I even had an offer out for 1.5. It sold for 9.99. It was like, bro, I had an offer out for 1.5. Like, you could have taken my offer and made a bag. But so, yeah, I've been trying to get it back into my wallet just as one, a badge of honor of selling at the top of the market, and two, because I miss it. I like it. So anyway, that's my story.
You needed the Grail Hunter to notify you.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're waiting for it, bro, Tater. I'm telling you, when I saw that post, I was like, oh my God, Teddy, look at this.
Oh man. Yeah, it's been like just gnawing at me that I can't get it back. So I'll get it slowly but surely. I'll get it.
Let's go. We have a quick question from EJC. Tell Brotator to show D gods on ETH. You will see all the buys from earlier this morning. So something's happening in D gods. And I know EJC mentioned it in Orbis. Apparently, that someone hacked a marketplace. From the hack, a lot of Utes and D gods were selling at 0.179 ETH.
So is that why the full price crash on those? Okay.
Yeah, so that's a bit of breaking news. Thanks for sharing that, EJC. Okay. Check the buys from D gods on ETH. Okay.
And that actually is one of the very few edge cases that we're trying to deal with right now. If you search for DGods on NFI, you're only going to find it on Solana. That was a architectural call that I made very early on. We do intend to get DGods ETH support eventually, but we're having some issues like double counting and stuff. It gets a little bit funky, so we have to find a good way to support that.
Yeah.
Quick question: is there a way to integrate, like, what breaking news, crypto news that aren't NFT related, but say some protocol got hacked? Is there a way for that to show on here, or you're dealing with strictly NFTs on Solana and Ethereum, and not necessarily breaking news or anything like that?
Strictly NFTs at this point.
Okay.
I have seen things like news on, again, other similar sites like Kaizen, I believe, has Solana news in general. We probably won't go into that territory. I think we'll most likely be a data aggregator.
Yeah.
Less is more right now. You put more stuff on there, it's like you kind of lose focus on it being NFT based and whatnot. I agree.
Oh, Potato, I appreciate the walkthrough, and thank you on behalf of me and Taddy and from our viewers for guiding and taking us on a tour of the inn, shall we say.
Yeah,
but
buddy.
We are, Taddy, probably going to move it over to our next segment.
100%.
I think you're going to enjoy this. Our viewers definitely enjoy it. It's called the rapid fire round. I'll be giving you certain questions, and I'm expecting quick, fast answers within 10 seconds. Like an answer. Are you up for the challenge?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Right, let's get the show on the road, Taddy.
Rapid fire. You ready? So 10 seconds, and then you're gonna get this if it's longer.
Oh man, the firing squad.
Yes, sir. So 10 seconds with your gut. It's basically whatever's at the top of your brain is the best answer. So there we go.
Okay, question number 1: biggest fumble in NFTs.
Oh man, my biggest fumble in NFTs. Well, lately, because I'm emotional, I want to say portals, but really my biggest fumble in NFTs was Neo Hunters back in 2022 or 2023. I lost over 300 Solana on it.
Sorry, repeat that again. How much Solana?
I lost over 300 Solana on Neo Hunters. To be fair, their creator did tell me many, many times to diversify my assets.
No. Okay. Favorite IP?
Are we talking NFTs?
Yeah.
Anything. Oh, I thought it was anything.
Just NFTs. Just NFTs right now.
Okay, I mean, if I'll give both answers. If we're talking anything, it's got to be Pokemon. If we're talking NFTs, it's for sure Solana Monkey Business.
Okay. What NFT collection have you traded the most?
Ooh, what one have I traded the most? Oh God, that's so hard. Famous Fox Federation or Bored Ape Solana Club, probably.
Okay. What is your largest hold in NFTs? What project?
Famous Fox Federation, the best project on Solana. No offense to any other project.
That answers my next question. Is that your current conviction?
Yeah, and I can touch on that for a minute. I mean, go look at how long they've been around for. They're one of the OGs on Solana, right? They minted both the Famous Foxes and the Transdimensional Foxes in 2021. And they continue to give back to their holders. Again, this is not financial advice. And I'll tell you, last week for my Fox missions, I got probably, I think it was about $2 or something in rewards. 2 weeks ago, from sending 28 Foxes on missions, I got 5 Solana in rewards. I mean, They keep back. They're goated.
Let's go.
Those missions are famous across CT. I always see screenshots. Okay. Most underrated project on Solana.
Oh,
other than Infant.
Yeah. I don't have an NFT project, so I can't say myself. Wow, I'm gonna get the buzzer. I'm just gonna throw out games.
Games.
He beat the buzzer. He beat the buzzer.
Okay.
That's a really tough one. I mean, it's probably not gains since they have like a 3 soul floor price, but I mean, there's not a lot of places that are doing stuff that's as, potentially impactful for the ecosystem as gains are doing right now. And for a project that's building an entire marketplace for a 3 Solana buy with like a 2,000 supply, I think that seems fairly undervalued to me right now.
Okay. Which project, in your opinion, has the best art?
Ooh, the best art. Maybe Mad Lads. It's not really my style, to be honest, but it's just very well done. It's unique that it's not a square, it's more of that like, vertical rectangle and stuff like that. And it's just really well done. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but I think it's a classy NFT collection.
Okay. What is your go-to wallet in Web3?
Oh man, I gotta get. I mean, right? It's Soulflare. You know, Phantom's been my first love here on Solana, but they had a problem last fall, about maybe 9 months ago or so now, where this was going on for weeks, where you couldn't. You had to disconnect your ledger every single time and reconnect it if you wanted to sign more than one transaction. And I do most of my NFT stuff on my ledger, so I switched to Soulflare about 9 months ago, and I haven't looked back.
Okay. Favorite account to follow for the latest news in crypto?
I don't really follow like the news from a single account perspective a whole lot. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No, fair enough. You've got 10 Sol in your wallet, bro, Tejo. What NFTs are you buying?
I'll tell you, man, I'm going to non-fungible in. I'm going to my watch list. I'm sorting on price, and I'm looking at the ones that are bleeding. I follow the Warren Buffett investing strategy of buy when there's blood in the streets. I always say, if I buy something, I don't care what it is. It could be a stock, it could be an NFT. If I walk away from that feeling like the smartest guy on the planet, I probably made a really bad decision. If I walk away from that feeling just disgusting because that thing had been bleeding for a month straight, and I'm like, why would I buy something that's just gone down straight for a month? It's probably a good purchasing decision.
Okay.
Agreed. Agreed.
Sorry, so to actually answer your question of what NFTs would I buy, I really don't know. I think it would be a combination of the ones that I really like that have been bleeding a lot. Famous Foxes, if they're around 4 Sol like they were a couple days ago, that's a pretty good buy to me. Pick up a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give him the machine gun because it was a great answer, but not the answer. So, you know.
Right. You have an SMB, a Gecko, and who else can I chuck into this, Teddy?
Famous Fox.
A Famous Fox, yeah. In your wallet. Burn one, flip one, stake one.
Man, sorry, Genuine. I'm burning the Gecko, I'm staking the Fox, and I'm flipping the SMB.
Ooh, I thought that was going to get him. He savaged that one. Nice.
Okay. Your Mount Rushmore of NFT founders.
Oh gosh, Mount Rushmore of NFT founders. I mean, I got to start with Dak Days, right? I mean, that guy has just been an absolute powerhouse for the Solana space. I attribute so much of the eyes that we have on Solana NFTs and still the community that we have here to people like him. I'm definitely getting the gun on this one. I mean, I'll just throw it off the top of my head. I don't even know the names of them. Drax from Famous Fox Federation, Kai or Kais or whatever it is from OK Bears. And then, because I can't think of another one, I already said it earlier, I'll throw out Rico. Even though I will say for GOTM, I'm a huge person that believes in longevity of my projects. As much as I love GOTM and Gains and those guys, I always find it very hard to put them on one of my top lists because, I mean, Gains minted like a year and a half ago. I love those projects that minted 4 or 5 years ago type thing. So give me the gun. I failed.
Yeah, that is rapid fire done and dusted. Bro, Tato, appreciate you coming up with those answers. You got the gun from Teddy, unfortunately, a few times, but hey, brother, the other times got it answers. So I appreciate that. And just generally appreciate you being on the space once again.
Yeah.
Well, it's not space now; it's a stream, Teddy. I keep on forgetting we're doing.
Wake
streams.
up, bro! It's a stream. It's a stream.
I still gotta get used to it. But yeah, well done, GG. Back to you, Teddy.
Yeah, so this next segment, basically, we've been throwing them up as people have been doing it during the space. But if you guys have any questions that you feel we did not ask, by all means, throw them up now in the chat before we let this bro Tato Chip go on with the rest of his day. So, man, we appreciate your time and giving us the grand tour of the non-fungible N. I love it. And hopefully our viewers love it as well, and they have an opportunity to get in and, you know, be part of something new and fresh. We're early, so thank you so much for that grand tour. And we'll just see if anyone's got any questions. Luck, are you over there on Orvis, seeing if there's any questions being thrown up on Orvis as well?
Yeah, seriously, guys, I appreciate you too. I mean, this has been a blast. I love being able to get NFI out there and appreciate you guys again, like being real ones and just continuing to move the space forward. Builders who are building projects like myself, I mean, we're important, but marketing makes the world go round. If nobody knows about NFI, it has no value. So we appreciate you guys too. When I say we, I mean me and Claude. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man. We were actually told recently that no one cares about us pulling founders up and picking their brains clean. And we're like, well, that means we should keep doing it. So, apparently they were wrong, and people continue to rock up and learn new things about this ecosystem. Because like I said before, without founders and developers and you guys creating this place would pretty much suck big time. So, we appreciate you as well, man. We do have a question from Awful. Is there a Discord for Infant?
There's one member right now. It's myself, and it is locked down. We will eventually get a Discord up and running for NFI, but we do not have a public one today.
There we go. Yeah, I'll be up in there as well. Locked down. A Discord of one. A lonely place up in there, but no, I understand completely, man.
He's having fun up in there.
Yeah, he is. He's like streaming marbles and whatnot and playing Rumble with himself and winning all the time. He's dunking on everyone.
I needed to have NFI as my, like a tag or whatever in Discord. Everyone has those server tags nowadays. So even though I don't have Discord, I wanted to have that tag for NFI. So that's why I have it right now.
Well, I got a question. When you're not deving it up, IRL work and then working on this bad boy, what do you do to unwind, man? What do you do to touch grass or just to recharge the battery? Or is there none of that and you're just full steam ahead?
I do like to keep myself pretty busy with work. I have a demanding job, and then for whatever reason, I do other stuff like this on the side. Yeah, I mean, and classic American stuff. I mean, I love going outside, working out, going for a run or biking, love watching sports, love playing video games and stuff like that. The thing that really keeps me the most occupied outside of Web3 stuff is in my side gig, in addition to this side gig and my actual day job, is I run a small succulent farm and nursery as well. So I create and sell rare variegated plants, and
love it. Let's go. That's literally touching grass or touching plants. So okay,
Teddy, I was gonna make the joke and say I've literally touched grass, and then I realized people are gonna take that the wrong way. It's not grass per se. It's non-hallucinogenic plants.
No doubt. Well, it's not looking like anyone is going to throw up any questions. I guess we always equate that to us, asking such good questions that we didn't leave anything on the ground. So, and we appreciate your time once again. And is there anything else you want to leave our viewers with before we head out here?
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you guys for having me up on this space. It was great. Love talking with you guys. Love getting the word of NFI out there. I'm building this for the people, guys. I'm just one of you guys. I'm just a bag holder degen who's been here for a couple bear markets, and this is something that I think we can all benefit from. Would love to hear ideas and suggestions that people have. So obviously, I'm Brotato. You can find me on X. You can also find Non-Fungible In on X. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have ideas, and hope to see you guys around.
Brotato, quick question. When can we expect Grail Hunter to be released?
June or July.
June or July. Okay.
Could it be
possible? No. Could it be possible to get you back on Floor Watch? That's one of our streams we do on Thursdays and Fridays, and you can give us a quick crash course on the Grail Hunter utility.
Absolutely, that would be great.
Let's go. Appreciate it, Brotato. And from me, Teddy, thank you to all of our listeners who tuned in. It's been another amazing episode with someone that's actively building. Like he said, he's like one of us, but he's not. He's actually much more smart than me anyway. And the stuff he's building, you've got to show love and support to it. As I said, his follower count on Nfin on X is criminally low for what he's done and what he's going to deliver. So make sure you guys tap in on that. Go and register on the website. It's free, right? And go and see what's going on. Keep in touch with what he's doing and actively support. So yeah, that's it from me. I look forward to seeing you guys back on Thursday and Friday, 5 p.m. EST for Flow Watch. There's a lot to cover in Flow Watch, but Bro Tato, once again, legend, appreciate you. Back to you, Teddy.
I reiterate everything that Lucky said, and for our viewers, time's our most valuable asset, and the fact that you guys rock up with us week in and week out to, learn about the movers and shakers in this space. You are one-on-ones in our eyes, so we thank you so much. Brotato, thank you for spending time with us, giving us the grand tour of the non-fungible inn. It was goated. We love it over here, and hopefully our viewers found value in it as well. And Luck, appreciate you rocking up with me, bro. Like, let's go. But everybody, stay safe, stay blessed, stay winning. Don't click those stupid links, and hope everyone has a great rest of their Monday and an awesome week as well. So take care, everyone. OTB is out.
On the block, we go. On the block, let it flow. Spaces open, might go live. Different miles from web to drive. Builders here, they pull a real. Talking moves and how they feel. No scripts, just open flow. Ideas moving row by row. Every week a new face shown. Building things to stand alone. We go. On the block, let it flow. On the block, feel the sound. On the block right now. Just raw talk. Ideas that actually